So what I was explaining here, you have PV diagram, and if you draw these popular curves, they comes like this. So here pressure is constant, here temperature is constant, here adiabatic curve, and here volume is constant. Or you can write them in terms of n. Here n is 0, here n is 1, here n is equal to gamma, and remember gamma has 3 values, 1.4, 1.6, 1.33, and here gamma is n is equal to infinite. Okay, so if you suppose I am drawing only one line here, I have PV diagram, I am drawing only one line, then how will you judge which line I am drawing? I am drawing this line or some in between line or some other line. You cannot judge. So that's why after drawing the line, we must mention that it is adiabatic line. So if it is adiabatic line, then you will understand, okay, isothermal curve is above. So you can see adiabatic is more slopey. It has more slope in the graph itself, you see. Now let's understand one thing. Suppose I'll send the page. PV diagram. Very important line. Now I am going to give a point here, and from this point I am drawing temperature constant line, and I am also drawing adiabatic line. So see, here at this point my pressure was something and volume was something. I want to reach to this volume. It means here. So you can see, if you want to achieve same volume but using isothermal process, then your area under the curve is more. I mean, you have to consider the entire area. It means you have to do more work done. But if you are doing the same volume change from V1 to V2 but using adiabatic process, then you have to use area under the curve only this much, which is less. So work done for adiabatic is less than work done for isothermal. Okay, so in case of adiabatic, the very strong line, heat transfer is 0. Heat will not enter to the system, heat will not come out from the system. Heat transfer is 0. Input and outgoing, everything is 0. So if heat transfer is 0, then what about your first law? Then your first law, del Q is equal to du plus del W. This part is 0. What about this part? So del U is nothing but minus del W. It means if your work done is negative, then only your internal energy will increase. And under which situation work done is negative? Work done is negative when you do the work on piston. I mean, when you do work on the system. So when you will do the work on the system, then only internal energy will increase, because there is no heat interaction, because we are considering adiabatic process this time. So first thing is clear. Now next thing is, how will you calculate the work done formula? So to calculate work done formula, you should know it is equal to change in internal energy, and it has the direct formula, mcv dt. Okay, and I will give you one trick so that you can find out the equation, formula for the work done. What is your work done formula? Integration PdV. Okay, now you know that this P you cannot take out. Why this P you cannot take out? Because this P is not constant. So can you integrate the P? No, you cannot integrate the P, because you have to integrate in terms of volume. So for that, you should find out the variation of pressure in terms of volume. It means, like in case of Charles law, you have equation like see, you have PV is equal to nRT, and in case of Charles law, this T is 0. So we found P is equal to constant by volume. Okay, this was Charles law. Now if you'll go for the some other law, then in every law you have pressure in terms of volume, but not with this formula. In same way, right now we are doing adiabatic. So for adiabatic, we have PV power gamma is equal to constant. This is adiabatic law. PV power gamma is equal to constant. Now there is a proof for this equation, but we are not going to prove this equation. So PV power gamma is equal to constant. So by using this formula, you can develop pressure in terms of volume. How? Pressure is equal to constant by volume power gamma. So in this case, you were writing only constant by gamma volume, but now you are writing constant by V power gamma because we are dealing with adiabatic work done. So work done is equal to integration the constant V power gamma into dV. Now you have a trouble. Anyway, this is constant, take out. But what is the trouble now? Trouble is how will you integrate dx by x power n? Okay. So in this case, simple mathematics is take the x power n up. It will be x power minus n integration dx. Then integration says if you want to integrate algebraic when you have power, then trick is add plus 1 and divide by whatever the new power is coming. It means let me explain properly. Suppose you have 1 by x power 5 and you want to integrate. Then how do we integrate? Write like this, x power minus 5 and then integrate. Then answer should be x power minus 5 plus 1. Then whatever new power is coming, that new power you write here. Okay, like this we do. So you have dv by v power gamma integration, take constant out. So what will you do? Take this v up, it will look like constant integration v power minus gamma into dv. And then what will it look like? Constant v power minus gamma plus 1. So you got a new power, so that power you divide here, minus gamma plus 1. Okay, and of course you should put that you are going from v1 volume to v2 volume. So put here v1 to v2. Now you have further approach in the question. First, okay, gamma minus 1, this thing is minus gamma plus 1, this is constant, take out. So c by 1 minus gamma you took out, and then substitute v2 here. So it will be v2 power minus gamma plus 1 divide minus, then you put v1. So v1 power minus gamma plus 1. Okay, now change the page. C, you are getting c by 1 minus gamma bracket v2 gamma minus 1, sorry, minus gamma plus 1, and then minus v1 minus gamma plus 1. If you check out what was constant, we are dealing adiabatic. For adiabatic, we are using PV power gamma is equal to constant. So this constant I can replace with PV power gamma. Okay, it means what? P1 V1 power gamma is equal to P2 V2 power gamma. They will be same because it is a constant. So this constant I will multiply here and I will multiply here. And because V2 is written here, so I will write V2 term. And V1 is written here, so I will write V1 term. So after sending C inside, I am putting the value. So it will look like P1 V1 power gamma and V2 power minus gamma, sorry, 2. Then V1 minus gamma plus 1. And here also I have to multiply this C value. So P1 V1 power gamma. So you can see. And of course 1 by gamma is remaining. So you can see this V2 power gamma and V2 power minus gamma will cancel. But 1 power will be remaining, so V2 will be remaining. So you got P2 V2 and here you got P1 V1 divided by 1 minus gamma. If you have any confusion in this, you can ask. So this became your work done. So in case of work done, you have P2 V2 minus P1 V1 by 1 minus gamma, and heat transfer is 0 because it is adiabatic process. And what about relations, other relations? Actually this process is very important. I will change the page. See, your adiabatic process, how you should understand. First you should understand PV is equal to MRT is valid only for state. It means if P1 is given, V1 is given, you can find out T1, or T1 is given, V1 is given, you can find out P1. It is only valid for the state. Now next, when you change the state, it means you are applying the process. Which process? Adiabatic process. So for that process you have formula PV per gamma is equal to constant. It means when your state is changing, it will change according to this rule. So you have connections, right? From one state to another state you are going. So what kind of formula you will apply? So if you have like P2 by P1, that will be equal to T2 by T1 whole power gamma by gamma minus 1. So this equation says if you know the values of one state, actually it is P1, handwriting mistake, P2 by P1 is equal to T2 by T1. So by using this equation you can find out your state change. In this equation you can say if P1 and T1 is given, it means if data 1 is given for state 1 and for state 2 suppose P2 is given, then you can find out T2. Okay, so in this you have list of formulas. This much is clear already. This is third one. Now you go for fourth one. Fourth one is very popular formula, that is in terms of density. Rho 2 by rho 1 is equal to again T2 by T1. You remove one gamma here, so you put 1 by gamma minus 1. So these two are very popular formulas. So by using these two formulas you can collect the state and you can solve the numerical. Now we are in condition to solve the numericals. So we are remaining with one last question in this adiabatic formula. If I will ask how will you find out change in internal energy in adiabatic, then what will you reply? Try guys. Dhruv, try. Change in internal energy, you are saying 0. Okay Gaurav, you try. See guys. Yes. Very good. Now you are absolutely correct. Because change in internal energy is 0 only in one process, that is isothermal. Currently you are doing adiabatic. So first law will help you to think. So del Q is equal to du plus del W. So here your del Q is actually 0. So you take this del W this side, or you can write like this. So your del U is not 0. du is not 0. So I will give you one last process, that is a polytropic process. So we'll be free, then we can solve all the numericals. One last process, polytropic process. So see guys, what is polytropic process? So you saw the process: pressure constant, temperature constant, volume constant, heat transfer 0. So these four are very popular processes and we saw the formulas. Okay, here you have a catch. Here your gamma was equal to n, your n was equal to gamma, and here n was 0, here n was 1, here n was infinite. So if your n is not equal to this and this, if n is equal to n, I mean some other, this n is known as polytropic index, this gamma is known as adiabatic index. If n is equal to n, some other process, like for example I am drawing any other process and I am saying it is polytropic process, it means you must know that n is equal to something else. For example, n is equal to 1.2, for example m is equal to 1.5, anything else which is not matching with gamma. So in that case all the formulas will same of adiabatic, only one thing will change, gamma will replace as n, that's all. It means adiabatic index you will use as polytropic index. For example, in case of work done formula, we got bottom side 1 minus gamma and top we got P2 V2 minus P1 V1. So at the top we don't have gamma, but at the bottom we have gamma. So if the same equation will convert as P2V2 minus P1V1 divided by 1 minus n. But this n will be something else. It will not be equal to gamma because we are dealing polytropic now. In same way, suppose I want to find out relation between heat transfer and work transfer in a polytropic process. You have direct and same thing. State formulas will also change in same way. Like P2 by P1 will be equal to T2 by T1 whole power n by n minus 1. Don't use gamma. Wherever you have gamma, substitute. So see now, your heat and work, their ratio is very important here. Your heat is gamma minus n by gamma minus 1 times of work done. In the polytropic process, you have direct relation here. Your heat transfer is gamma minus n by gamma minus 1 times of work done. And your Q value, if you want to find out separately, so M, don't use CPCV here, use Cn, because you are not solving for n is equal to 0. You are not solving for n is equal to infinite, means pressure constant, volume constant. You are solving for n is equal to n, so you cannot write CPCV here. T2 minus T1. So either you use this formula or you use this formula. Both the formulas you can use. It depends on the data given. And last part, how will you calculate Cn value? So Cn value you can calculate with the help of CV. I will explain everything. See, what kind of gas or what kind of fluid is working, for that you have to find out CV. CV is nothing but R by gamma minus 1. Okay, this is CV value. Now this value does not depend on the process. It only depends on the what kind of fluid you are using. Any process, does not matter. So you got CV. Now in this CV you multiply. Now using the CV you have to find out Cn. So again it will be n minus gamma divided by n minus 1 times of CV. So this value, when you will multiply in this CV, you are going to get Cn. It means Cn got separate formula, n minus gamma n minus 1 into R by gamma minus 1, because CV value is R by gamma minus 1. So this became your Cn formula. That's all. Only this much theory is there in the closed system. But we have so many questions in the closed system. Around 10 very good examples I have. So those examples I will give you, and 1 or 2 unsolved questions also I will give you, and you can solve those questions. Once first log is over properly, then we have to solve previous year gate questions. So it will be all right. So now let's start one small question, and let's see whether you are able to catch the question. I will just write the question. You see, question is, a mass of 2.4 kg of air at 150 kilopascal and 12 degrees Celsius is contained in a gas tight piston cylinder device. The air is now compressed to a final pressure of 600 kilopascal. Okay. During the process, heat transferred. Now see, during the process, heat is transferred from air such that temperature inside the cylinder remains constant. We have to calculate work done. Now see here, anyway whatever we have to calculate, that is different. First you understand the physical feel of the question. See this interesting point here. In our daily life, whenever you are transferring heat transferred. So whenever you are transferring heat, transfer means two things: input or output. How will you judge? In sentence itself you have to judge input or output. So see, heat is transferred from air. It means what? From air you take the heat and send out. From air means from the cylinder. Means you have a cylinder, airtight cylinder. In this you have your gas, that is your air. So you are sending the heat out. Okay. In basic lifestyle, whenever you send heat out, temperature should increase or decrease? Guys, tell me the answer. It should decrease. But in the question they are saying, read the question. In the question what they are saying is constant. So you should not be confused. Temperature inside the cylinder remains constant. It means heat transferred is allowed, but temperature change is not allowed. Temperature change is not allowed. It means it is which kind of process? Isothermal. That's all. You have to use the work done formula. Now see the given data. A mass of 2.4 kg. Okay, mass is given at 150 and 12 degree. It means what? In the piston, in the beginning, your mass was something, your temperature was something, and your temperature was, let me write, temperature was 12 degrees Celsius, pressure was 150 kilopascal. Then they are saying they are the air is now compressed to a new pressure. You are compressing the air. How you are compressing the air? By taking the heat out. Whenever you heat the object will try to expand. Whenever you take the heat out, object will try to compress. So currently we are taking the heat out, so of course you have to compress. So when you are compressing, in compression pressure always increases. In compression pressure always increases. So that's why you can see here from 150 Pascal you are getting a new pressure, that is 600 kilopascal. And they are asking what will be work done. To understand, put here 1, put here 2. But in case of work done formula for isothermal case, you can find out in two ways. If you remember, there was constant term and then there was ln V2 by V1. This constant I told you can write mR T1, because temperature is constant, so you write T1 T2, does not matter. Or you can write P1 V1, or you can write P2 V2, anything. According to given data we will choose. And this formula you can also write as ln P1 by P2. This part. So P1 is given? Yes. P2 is given? Yes. One temperature is given which is constant. So that temperature you substitute here. Mass is given? Yes. R is given? R is not given. So what about R now, guys? Tell me. Yes, R is constant. Very good. R value we will take in SI unit, that is going to be 287. That's all. and already we have discussed about R in previous class. So you will be getting one answer here. Okay, can you guess this answer will come positive or negative? Can you guess this? Obviously negative. Very good. But how? Logic? Very good. It is actually not about work input. It is about heat output. I have told you, whenever you are transferring heat inside, that time you write answer positive. Correct? But here we are taking heat outside. So that's why it is negative. So automatically your answer should come negative. Otherwise your concept is wrong. Now see, in mathematics, whenever you have log, so if you are writing anything in decimal, log gives negative answer. For example, if you are writing 150 Pascal divided by 600 Pascal, so this will be in decimal, so it will give you negative answer. So that's why automatically your answer will come negative, which has sense, which makes sense. Okay, then remaining 8 questions I will give you, and all those 8 questions you have to solve one by one in the PDF. So whatever material I will give you, that material should be on your fingertips with the theory and with the numericals. Now we will understand the flow process, which is very, very important. Mostly mechanical students are weak in flow process. Like mechanical students are comfortable with closed systems, but they used to weak in flow process. So let's understand. You should not bother about that. Now we are going to deal open system, and we will understand how to apply first law in the open system. So see, when system is open, then flow is possible. So when you talk about flow, the flow itself is of two types: steady flow and unsteady flow. Actually, there are several ways to classify flow. I want to classify currently in this way. Otherwise, compressible flow, incompressible flow, turbulent flow, laminar flow. There are so many ways to classify flows, but in this topic, I am classifying as steady and unsteady. Can you recall, guys, what is the difference between steady and unsteady flow? If you can recall anything. Yeah. The difference, I am looking for the difference. Difference between steady and unsteady flow. It is actually about memory. You guys are not having very good memory. No problem. After practice, you can achieve the memory. See, guys, steady flow means something is steady. Steady means things will not change with time. Okay? For example, wife. Are you getting my point? Before you are not married, I mean, yeah, yes. So this is the best way to remember. After marriage, your life will be steady in terms of woman. Lot of things will be unsteady, like kids, 1 kids, 2 kids, like with time. But before marriage, in case of woman, you may have unsteady flow. It means your girlfriend may change. So you got an idea. If you have flow happening in pipe, because now we are discussing flow process, so I am considering any simple pipe. See, now you say pipe or you say duct, means same. Only thing is, when you talk about pipe, your diameter is somewhat less, but duct diameter is somewhat bigger, and more than that you have tunnel. So tunnel, pipe, duct, in everything flow can happen. So right now I'm taking one small pipe. So in this pipe flow is happening. So at this point some flow will enter, and then here flow will go out. So here you have two types of open system. Right now we are discussing steady state steady state steady flow system. It means system will allow only steady flow. It means flow itself will not change with time. It means if here 10 kg per second mass is entering, so every time 10 kg per second mass will be entering. It's like pipe is on, it means every time same flow. And steady state means, suppose at this cross section you are trying to find out temperature, so that temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, and at this you got the temperature, that temperature T2 is suppose 50 degrees Celsius. So this value should not change with time, this state should not change with time, and this state also should not change with time. Now students may think that, sir, here you have 10, but why you don't have 10 here, why you have 50 here? Because steady means your property can change with length, but whatever property you have at a particular location, that will not change with time. Guys, clear? Okay. Yes, I'll explain again. See, in the pipe, we are discussing steady flow. Whenever you have flow, then at every section you will be having different properties. Here you will be having temperature, suppose 10 degrees Celsius, T2 is equal to suppose some 50 degrees Celsius. So question is, in case of steady flow, are we talking about this value and this value? Answer is no. We are saying at any platform, once you got your temperature 10 degrees Celsius, then this should not change lifetime. This 10 is matching with 50 or not, that is not our discussion. Our discussion is, once you got 50 here, this 50 should not change. That is the meaning of steady flow. I mean, properties can change on the way, but at a particular place, whatever property you are getting, that property will not change in itself. Guys, clear? Gaurav? No, I am saying temperature is 10 here, and this 10 is not changing in itself. But when the flow will go ahead in the pipe, there, because of cross section of pipe, because of velocity of the flow, other properties can change, temperature can change because of friction or because of something. So at this section temperature was 10, so here temperature should always be 10. Ahead in the flow what is happening, that is not our discussion. At any section property should not change with time, that then it is known as steady flow. Further, at the next section, if you are comparing two different sections, it means that is the wrong logic to understand steady flow. If you want to understand steady flow, then you should go on a particular station and you stay here, you put one thermometer here, and this thermometer reading should not fluctuate. You put any pressure transducer here, this pressure reading should not fluctuate. But if you are putting one thermometer here and one thermometer here, and then you are saying, sir, here reading is coming 10, here reading is coming 50, then how it is steady? So I will correct, I will say that you don't compare data of two different states, two different places. To understand steady flow, you should look only one state data, that data is changing or not, then only you will say, okay, the entire flow is steady. Gaurav, clear? Okay. So in this case, in the flow process, there is something called steady state flow energy equation. In short, you say SFE. Means your flow is steady. In that, you are going to apply energy equation. So what is that? So imagine there is a pipe like this. In this pipe, flow is going. So we are looking for energy equation. So suppose this is the ground level. So at this point your height is considered as Z1. You don't consider height as h because h is the symbol for enthalpy in thermodynamics. And here you have the height Z2. And when the flow will enter, it will enter with particular velocity and it will exit particular velocity. And when the flow enters, the entire energy other than potential and other than kinetic will be your enthalpy. So here you have enthalpy H1, right, capital H1, and here you have enthalpy capital H2. So only these are the three possible energies in any flow at the inlet and outlet. This question they can ask in your admission, during your admission in MTech, MS or PhD. Like what are the energies possible at the inlet and outlet? So only three energies are possible: Z1, H1, V1. Sorry, Z1 is not energy. I mean energy because of height, energy because of velocity, and the enthalpy. Now see, when the flow is happening, you can also do one more thing. You can also supply any kind of heat on the way. Like you keep on supplying heat here, means you are heating. And maybe because of this heating, you may be getting some kind of work output. So this is the entire assumption you can consider in any pipe flow. This is the total entire assumption. More than this, any extra additional features are not there. Now you see, total how many energies are going into the pipe? That is 4. Because of Z1 you have gravitational potential energy, that is mg Z1, and enthalpy is H1. Enthalpy is direct energy, and here you have velocity. So velocity you convert into half mv square, so kinetic energy. And after that you have heat also. Why I am not putting heat at the inlet? Because heat is not point function, it is a path function. So that's why I am showing just for the symbol purpose on the path. And same goes with work. Work is also path function. So see, in a case of inlet, you cut like this. All these 4 people are inlet and all these 4 people are exit, including the Z2. So total inlet energy is nothing but mg Z1 plus half m v1 square, potential over kinetic over, plus h1, this over, plus q1 plus q. So these energies you are supplying. Every second this much energy is entering. That is equal to second type, mg Z2 plus half m v1 square plus h2 plus work done. By using this formula, and don't bother about formula, bother about the concept. Concept is, it is the full-fledged equation. It means only these many possibilities are there. But in different devices, some people will not come. For example, when you deal with compressor, suppose you have compressor. So in the compressor, suppose this is the earth. Height of the inlet center of mass and height of the exit center of mass is equal. Z1 is equal to Z2. So this term will not appear when you will solve compressor. So this term will not appear in terms of compressor also, and in case of nozzle also, and in case of diffuser also, because height is same. Inlet outlet height is same. I am talking about the height of the center of mass. I am not talking about the shape. Now, in compressor, you may have inlet speed and you may have exit speed. In diffuser and nozzle, you may have inlet exit speed for sure. And of course, you will be having enthalpy also in all the three. Now, heat supply is restricted for nozzle and diffuser. And